We have viewed disability through many different lenses throughout history. Nowadays, we have the most understanding view of disability that we have ever had throughout the years, from ramps at building entrances to prolonged testing time options. But it was not always this way. Many are aware of black slavery and the women's suffrage movement in the 18 and 1900s, but many are less aware that these two parties were often heavily associated with disability, which denounced their rights and discredited their validity. Back then, disability was not just used as a term to describe those who were less than able-bodied, but for those who were actually considered lesser in superiority than the people who labeled them as such in the first place. The term disability was associated with a reversion to a crude and feral state, even going so far as to reference the primitive man of early times. This was often the label, and therefore the argument, that became attached to the inferiority of women, immigrants, and blacks. In Douglas C. Bainton's work, Disability and the Justification of Inequality in American History, he says, "Opponents of political and social equality for women cited their supposed physical, intellectual, and psychological flaws, deficits, and deviations from the male norm. These flaws, irrationality, excessive emotionality, physical weakness, are in essence mental, emotional, and physical disabilities, although they are rarely discussed or examined as such." Arguments for racial inequality and immigration restrictions invoked supposed tendencies to feeble-mindedness, mental illness, deafness, blindness, and other disabilities in particular races and ethnic groups. Because people, namely white, would associate the people of African descent with mental retardation, they actually would believe that freedom was detrimental to their well-being as they were not capable of handling society. Women were also viewed as feeble beings, both man's inferior in emotional capacity and physical. They were considered irrational and unfit for anything that was the natural job of a man. This societal assessment was founded from the idea that there was a natural role for people of a certain race or of a certain gender, and going against it was considered unnatural, or even, as Bainton put it, monstrous.